My name is Daniskov. I would like to give you the 20th session on dairy technology from Daniskov. It is on butter making using cultures for flavor development. This session is inspired by a group. It's called Cheese Making in Dairy Science on Facebook. And a member write, I have a dairy farm of 70 cows. I'm planning to make butter, but how do I use the skim milk after the cream separation? I'm asking what to do with leftover milk, which he means is the skim milk, after it's separated into cream and skim milk. Please help. I can see that there's many helpful suggestions that come in, but here's mine. And my choice would be to make cultured butter from the cream. This way you'll get buttermilk, which can be mixed with the skim milk, and that should give you a beautiful mix. Now keep in mind that flavor you're getting out of that buttermilk has to be recuperated in the skim milk as well. So maybe having it sitting at 20 degrees until it coagulates would be one way to get the flavor out again. One member also said that he would like me to teach him this. So here's what I have a main point. The one that I would consider for making cultured butter is what I call the summer method, which is the 19-16-8, which refers to the degrees Celsius that the cream is sitting at different intervals. There's also a winter method, which we call the 8-19-16 method, but that will not be dealt with here. So, not to make it too complicated, I would like to go over the summer method for making cultured butter. After separation of the milk, the cream, in my example, is a 2,000 liter cream tank with gently agitated to avoid foaming. The tank has to be double walled for circulation so that water at different temperatures can be applied inside that wall. With the 2,000 liter cream, you should add 1% starters or starter culture, which is in this case 20 liters of culture, which is made the day before. Now this is made according to regular adding of either a freeze-dried culture or a culture that you have already. The temperature before you add the culture should be sitting between 19 and 21 degrees C. And it should be sitting at that temperature with the culture in it and of course well mixed in for 3 to 4 hours to make the culture working well. Now, because it is a culture that is liquid, it's always up and running, so it will move fairly fast. Now when it's been sitting for 3-4 hours, you cool it down to 16 degrees, and then you follow it and see how the pH is developing. The final temperature of the cream should be 8 degrees before it's ready for churning the next day. That temperature is important because it gives some crystallization of the butter fat. The milk fat, when it comes in, it is liquid, but when it goes down to lower temperatures, it solidifies and, as we call it, crystallizes out. This gives you a better churning ability, and also gives you harder butter that we would like for the summertime. To make sure that you get a proper profile of the culture, make sure that this procedure is followed more or less with the cooling, so that the temperature that it is set at coagulation is about 12 hours before churning. Now, after the temperature is down to 8 degrees, which it should be in the morning when you start work, the cream is then pumped over into the butter churn, and of course that butter churn is of the same capacity as your cream tank, so that it can contain this amount that was in the cream tank. And of course it should never be more than a little bit over half full. That way the churning effect can go to its max, and when you start churning, you'll hear it's different sounds, like a normal experienced butter maker will know when to stop and start draining the buttermilk. The buttermilk is then drained out and pumped into a different container, and there, of course, you can mix it with the skim milk. After the buttermilk is drained out, we close up the lid again and start churning, but of course at a lower speed. And as the moisture that is left in the butter is knitted into the butter after an hour or so, we take reading of the water percentages, and in Denmark we were going at maximum 16% water. Now in other parts of the world that is different, but you want to get that moisture content as close to the max, because the money is in the water, if you know what I mean. After that, it's knitted out till it's dried completely out, so that there's no moisture, and then you can start putting it into packages or other containers as desired. So that's the end of that. Now, should you have any more questions, you can always send me an email to egon.skofmos@gmail.com, and I'll try to answer it. Bye for now.